The first time I ever touched a real gun, I took over the city's largest public hospital. But instead of being afraid, the hostages cooperated with me as much as possible, except for one brave young man who ambushed me with pepper spray when I wasn't prepared, just as the young man who subdued me was about to call for help from the other hostages. A beautiful female hostage picked up the spray and squirted it straight into the young man's eyes. Witnessing this gruesome scene, the hostages didn't sympathize with the young man. They all burst into laughter instead. A nearby security guard even thoughtfully handed me handcuffs, suggesting I tie the meddlesome youth to the radiator. But I didn't lower my guard. Instead, I looked at the crowd with a complex expression. My gaze finally settled on the pregnant woman I'd taken hostage and the woman cradling her infant. I then opened the hospital doors and let them pass. When confronted by the media and police, the hostages didn't flee immediately. Instead, they loudly defended me, even pleading for them not to harm me. The hostages weren't suffering from Stockholm Syndrome. Rather, my plight had deeply shaken their hearts. Just days prior, I was an ordinary citizen like them. I worked tirelessly, juggling multiple part-time jobs daily, yet struggled to cover seemingly endless car and mortgage payments. Even so, I never complained about the hardships of immigrating to America with my family. For my beloved wife and thoughtful son were already heaven's greatest gifts to me. But when my pride and joy collapsed suddenly on the baseball field, it shattered this American dream completely. My wife and I rushed our son to the hospital immediately, but the attending physician delivered devastating news like a bolt from the blue. Our son suffers from severe congenital heart disease. A hole in his atrial septum has caused his heart to swell to over 3 times its normal size. Without an immediate heart transplant, he could slip into a deep sleep one night and never wake up again. Faced with a $250,000 surgical bill or letting him wait quietly for death, we chose surgery without a moment's hesitation. We trusted America's robust healthcare system would cover the full cost, but heaven never favors the honest. When I arrived at the insurance company, I was met with a harsh reality. To cut personnel costs, the company had switched employees' coverage to a cheaper provider without notice. And this notoriously shady insurer had excluded elective procedures like heart transplants from coverage. A mere $20,000 reimbursement was a drop in the bucket compared to the $250,000 surgery cost. This dealt another devastating blow to our ordinary family. But my son's life hung in the balance. I had no time to waste suing the insurance company. Resigned to my fate, I signed the insurance claim form. My last hope rested on government assistance after filing for bankruptcy. Yet the bureaucratic buck-passing and endless red tape at the public service window plunged this heartbroken, desperate father into an abyss of despair. With bankruptcy relief denied, I clung to a sliver of hope and approached the hospital's executives once more. I pledged on my honor that I would find a way to pay the surgery fees in installments. All I asked was for the hospital to place my son on the transplant waiting list. But Rebecca, the female executive, casually dismissed me with a single sentence. Without insurance, full cash payment is required. This single sentence, delivered with utter indifference, pushed me, with only $1,000 in savings, to the very edge of despair.